is for vegans. On today's episode, we are making a delicious vegan Irish stew.
Yes, so it is the month of March, which means St. Patrick's Day. And so we're gonna show you how we decided to celebrate our St. Patrick's Day with a vegan Irish stew. Super healthy, lots of vegetables. It's gonna fill you up.
It's gonna fill you up. It's so delicious. We're gonna show you guys what we use to substitute that beef that you usually get in an Irish stew. It's
Corned
gonna have
beef.
all of the staples that you usually get in a stew like this, and it's so good. You guys know we rock soups, and we want you guys to try it.
Yes. Corned beef, cabbage, plant-based style. If you want to see how we got this recipe, then please keep watching. And as always, we love you and thank you for watching. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, then please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you want direct notifications in your inbox whenever we post a new video, which is every Wednesday, every week. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.
So guys, Jess is cutting up an onion. You know, this is her favorite part. She does it the best. So you can see her loving it right now.
I never fail to cry whenever I make a recipe, I feel like.
Yeah, and it was actually a huge onion, you guys. We used about a quarter of this onion. We didn't use the whole thing. Look at her eyes.
So guys, it was literally pouring outside. I didn't care. I was literally dying. I needed fresh air.
All right, so right now I am peeling the red cabbage. So we decided to use red cabbage and not the white cabbage because we do want our soup to be very dark, and we want it to look like there's beef in it, even though we are not using any beef.
That was one of my favorite parts, was the colors that were brought out by this dish. It really was one of our most colorful and bright dishes that we came out with.
So now I am cutting a leek with a bread knife. Yeah, guys, we are still figuring out how to properly cut these plants. But hey, we get the job done. Jess has now recovered from the ICU unit. She's back into the kitchen.
Yeah, we haven't exactly invested in our knives yet.
Yeah, but we will. So now Jess is cutting up some potatoes. I'm going on to cut up some celery, and we still get the right sizes, so it's not even like that big of a deal. And now we are going in with some garlic. So we're putting that to the side, and you guys, we just have everything cut up and ready to go.
Look at all of these fresh vegetables, guys. This is such a healthy recipe.
It really is, and honestly, it's gonna be so delicious. So now Jess is putting on her hard work, her blood, sweat, and tears into this pot, our onions. I'm gonna add some water. In this dish, you know, I decided to be Team Jess and not start the dish off with oil. Woo! And she's gonna go in with some potatoes. And you really just wanna put in the ingredients one by one, just to kind of get a feel of how much water you're gonna put in the pot.
Yeah, and you can do as much stirring as you want. It's really up to you.
Yeah, so as you can see, we are now adding some carrots that Jess cut up with a bread knife, and she's gonna add some of that really dark red cabbage.
This is my favorite part. Look at the color of the cabbage, guys. It looks so good in camera, never mind in person.
Right. At this point, our kitchen is smelling so good. We're adding garlic, we are adding some of the celery that we cut, and honestly, you guys, most of the time went into cutting the vegetables. The actual stew is very low maintenance.
Right. So we just went ahead and added some more water, and now we're going in with vegetable broth. We're gonna use the whole container of this, guys.
The whole damn thing. And I'm adding in some bay leaves. You know we are team flavor here at V is for Vegan, so bay leaves had to go in there.
I loved the touch of this and the thyme. It was so good, and it added a different texture to the soup, which I really liked as well.
And you guys can see I'm using a mason jar. It's really just easy for us to measure it this way. And it's really just, you know, how we do it around the kitchen.
Yeah, I also really just love mason jars. I think they're so cute.
So helpful, so cute. You can drink out of them. You can do anything you want out of them. They just look so authentic.
And our favorite part.
The mushrooms! So now
or maybe I lied.
Yeah, this is actually the favorite part. So now we're going in with some Guinness. And this Guinness that we got is vegan, you guys. Remember, not all beers are vegan, so you want to check them out.
You can check them out on barnivore.com. That's how I always know if something is vegan or not.
So now we are mixing everything together, marrying all those flavors with the vegetable broth and the Guinness. And you guys, I wish you could smell this. Beer cooking over the stove just gives your kitchen a whole another dimension.
Yep, and we're just gonna add another 12 ounces of water there and a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit more. You really want to eyeball it, you guys. Like, it depends on the kind of pot you're using, how many people you're going to be feeding this. And we are putting in our favorite, not chicken, bouillon cubes. And you really want to just throw in a few here. Right in this scene, I'm putting in 2 cubes because you want to make sure it's super flavorful.
Yeah, we do end up adding another one in a little bit, but we always use this in our recipe because it really does give the broth so much flavor. Like, it really is a staple in our recipes at this point.
And the best taste test is your tongue. So as you taste your dish throughout your cooking process, you'll decide if not if you want to add another cube or not. So we are going in with the seitan. This is going to replace our corned beef. And Justin and I got 2 bags pre-made seitan.
Yeah, so we tried the seitan, and you'll see what we think about it coming up soon. But I've had it before, and I thought it was pretty good. But yeah,
you had it with rice, right?
Yeah, it was really good with rice. You could either make this recipe with or without it. But you could see us just breaking it up with our hands, and then we're gonna go in with another
Guinness. Yes, another can of Guinness, you guys. I actually recently just came back from Ireland, and when I was there was Guinness in everything. Guinness in stew, Guinness in steak and potatoes, Guinness in this, Guinness in that. And I was actually surprised to know that Irish people from Ireland actually cook with Guinness a lot. Like, I'm not insane. It's not in my head.
Yeah, honestly, I'm Irish and my family's never cooked with Guinness, so I'm actually surprised. But yeah, so we went in with some coconut aminos, which is one of my favorite parts of any recipe. We also went in with clove powder, onion powder,
garlic powder, and it's just a spice town, okay? This is how you know you are making something delicious. Don't forget to add your spices, you guys. Do not give veganism a bad name.
Yeah.
So
just
now,
because it's vegan doesn't mean it's flavorless.
Exactly. It doesn't mean it's bland. Doesn't mean you're eating grass. Okay, you guys. So now I'm grinding some fresh pepper into the dish. I am putting in a lot because it's a huge pot. You guys, this lasted us like a week. The both of us a week. So I'm going in with some cayenne pepper, some ground cumin for that really strong cumin-y flavor.
And one of my favorite herbs, we also went in with some rosemary, which is a staple in a lot of Irish dishes, especially on potatoes.
Herbs of Provence is going in here too. There's a lot of cool stuff in this. You got your oreganos and all your other herbs in there. And I'm just mixing that all together so the flavors can marry each other.
Guys, a moment of silence for how good that looks.
It's so good. I'm adding a little bit of more coconut amino acids. Just like Jess said, this is one of our favorite things to have in the kitchen. We will do a video on some favorite staples that we do use in most of our dishes.
We also really liked the added touch of the zesty lemon that we added and the fresh lemon squeezed as well. It really gave a different dimension to the dish.
I added about, all in all, a lemon in this dish and a little bit of butter to add some of that creaminess that you usually get in a stew.
Earth Balance butter, of course.
Earth Balance vegan butter, and we're gonna add some Minute Miso.
So this is different. This is something that you don't see in Irish stew.
No, it's not traditional.
And you know what? I'm so glad we added it, guys, because it makes it so much better.
Yep. Hey guys, so we finished filming how to make our vegan Irish stew. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, it smells so good, and we're ready to dive in.
I'm gonna go with the broth first.
That's really good.
Yes. I love it.
The broth is so flavorful.
So much flavor. So I was telling just earlier, it was important for us to flavor the food because we don't have meat, and this recipe is a very simple recipe if you have the beef, right? But we wanted to make a cruelty-free dish without harming any animals, and it is so good. Seriously, yes. It's delicious.
Yeah, me being Irish, so usually Irish stew is very plain. There's not a lot of ingredients that go into it. It's usually celery, carrots, cabbage, and then corned beef. And then maybe a few other things added with vegetable broth or chicken broth. But I have to say, I like this one much more. And I've grown up on Irish stew every year. Every time March comes around, my family makes Irish stew. My Nana used to make it all the time. So I have to say I really do like this better because you're getting more flavors and we add more things to it. Irish stew a lot of the time also does have golden potatoes. So we definitely have that in common with it. Really, just the difference is the seasonings that we used for the broth, right, and
the amino acids, the miso, the veggie bouillons. Wouldn't be traditional Irish foods, but we added it as vegans. They're our staples. It's really delicious.
It's so good.
I'm gonna go ahead and try the seitan.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
Because we've never had this seitan.
It's pretty hot. Hold on.
It has a texture. It doesn't taste like beef. It doesn't taste like beef. But it has the texture and it absorbed the broth.
It definitely has a similar texture to corned beef. The taste isn't there at all.
It tastes like seitan.
Yeah. It does. It's not bad by any means though. You could make this recipe with or without it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you don't need to put it in. We wanted it to be a little bit traditional and have something that would replace that beef, but it doesn't taste like it, so you don't need it.
Yeah, it's really not necessary. Maybe one day we'll figure out a way to replicate corned beef. But I don't think any companies really come out with that yet that I've seen. So
you know what I like in this, Jess? Is the mushrooms.
Yeah, the mushrooms are amazing. I just love mushrooms in general.
It gives you that umami flavor that we love. I'm really digging the broth. How do you think the Guinness tastes in the soup?
I really like the Guinness in it. I think it gives it a little bit of an added flavor, but it's not overpowering by any means.
Does it taste like Guinness?
No, in fact, you wouldn't even know that there's beer in this stew. So
it's good.
Definitely. And the cool thing about it is it changes the color of the broth.
Yeah.
And the red cabbage also changes the color of the broth, which I liked. Because normally in the Irish stews that I've had, we usually don't use red cabbage. So this was definitely a good choice because it brings color to the dish and
as if you did have like a whole piece of beef bone in it. Yeah, it's that same dark color that you would want.
The dark color, like beef broth or something like that. So really the only thing that isn't similar would be the corned beef.
The corned beef. But your potatoes, your carrots, your leeks. The leeks are so good. We usually don't cook with leeks. So I'm actually really happy with this dish.
It's really, really good.
I'm really happy. So guys, if you like this video, please make sure you give us a thumbs up, all right?
Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell for direct notifications in your inbox. We did it again. And yeah, we love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.